What's up? What's up? WWE. It's your boy, Tony Tone. Yeah. Yeah, it's your boy, Tony Tone, bringing you some WWE 2K17 news. Today I have some new features that the game has brought out, and those features are coming from IGN's Vincent Eden English and 2K executive producer Mark Little. And the five features are, I'm going to give them to you before I break them down. The five features are falls count anywhere, submission, taunt, reversal, and taunt. Those are the five features we're going to talk about today. And the first feature we're going to talk about is the reversal system that they've uh, made new. From last year's game, you pretty much can still kind of do like you did in 2K15, and the rest of them, you just sit there and reverse. Now, the new feature that they have for the reversal system now is that you have two new stocks of reversals. And what that pretty much means is that with the first stock of reversals, yes, you can still reverse and all that, but the main reason of that is now you still got to time it just right and all that. But where your second stock of reversal come in is that when you get ready to do your finisher, for example, you get ready to do your attitude adjustment or your tombstone power drive, where you may have it. Remember back in the day from 16, 15, back in the day, you do your finishing move, the AI or your opponent reverses it. Now they have where with the second stock, you can use your second stock reversal. So when you ready to do your finisher, boom, you ain't got to worry about no about reversing your finisher. It's pretty much done and sealed. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Now, moving on to the next feature. The next feature is the taunt feature. They have upgraded, pretty much all these features are updated. And the next feature we're going to talk about is the taunt feature. And they have added on a couple of new features with the taunt feature because you guys know about the taunt where you would pretty much hit the control pad or your control stick several times outside the ring or in the ring, depending on how bad your opponent is damaged, and pretty much continuously hit your taunt until you get your finisher. I mean, that was cool because a lot of people did it. I did it myself, But this year, they've added a new feature to it. And of course, you pretty much probably can still do that. But now they've added two new things to it. It's called they're called the momentum boost and damage boost. And what that means is the momentum boost pretty much means you get to gain momentum before you, well, I take that back, I'm sorry. After you do your taunt and you do a move on a person, you pretty much can gain momentum boost by doing that. Pretty much kind of like when you see, for example, Daniel Bryan in a match. And it's pretty much like an adrenaline boost, put it like that. Pretty much like, in my mind, put me in the mind of a combat boost, put it like that. Something like that, where you're able to do a taunt, then you get beat up, and then you come back with some momentum gain of beating heck out of them. Pretty much in that sense, And then the next taunt is called the damage boost. Pretty much meaning if you do a taunt and well, I take that back. If you don't do your taunt and just say you do a power bomb, right? That power bomb ain't got no kind of effect. It's just a regular power bomb. But if you do a taunt and you do that same power bomb, boom, you got more damage behind that move because you just done a taunt where you now hurt your opponent more compared to not doing a taunt. So that's how that works. And moving on to the next feature. Next feature we have is the what one I want to do. I want to do the submission. My favorite one. Yes, this is my favorite one. The submission feature. Now, besides that, real quick, I'm gonna add this note. Also, what I read and looked up for the submission feature itself, you can also on 2K15, 16, pretty much those two, where you had the chain grapple. You don't have to do that no more. Why you not do that no more is because they got it now where they've upgraded it, where the only time you get into a chain grappling match if you and that opponent starts to grapple each other. And also, depending on the type of wrestler you pick, depending on their personality and all that, you may get into a chain grappling match. That's like, for example, you pick somebody like my boy Goldberg, or you pick somebody like Big Show or Mark Henry or somebody of that nature. You ain't finna, or I got one more for you, or Rusev or Sheamus or somebody like that. You ain't finna get into no grappling match. You finna go in there and slug it out. So my point is that depending on who you pick, yeah, you may go into a chain grappling match. But if you pick another superstar that you know ain't too much doing like grappling, just go in there and slug it out. You ain't got to worry about no chain grappling match. And now, for you newbies, and for you rookies, and for you beginners, the submission for you babies out there, you crybabies. I can't do the submission. I can't get this stupid behind rotation right from 2K16. You crybabies. Practice makes perfect. You practice how you'll get it right. But anywho, for these crybabies out there, 2K has again updated their submission. They updated their submission where you can pretty much do the rotation, but it's more easier compared to last year. And another added bonus for you old school guys. Now you have an option, still submission. Now you have an option to go into your option menu in the game, even before you even start a match or even in the match setup, however you want to do it. You can go to your options and change your submission from the new style of submission, for as rotating your right joystick, to the old style of breaking point submission of mashing the buttons. So you can choose either mashing the buttons, just you mash buttons, or you rotate clockwise, counterclockwise, either your choice. Me, I'm gonna go with the new style, give you a harder time to break out before you tap out, because you've been tapped out before you break out with me. But yeah, that's just me on my submission. And the next feature we're gonna talk about is the ladder match. Yes, they've upgraded again. Like I said, all these features I'm talking about are upgraded features that 2K17 has done, so that's a good thing. Then now I'm talking about the next feature is a ladder match. And with this ladder match, now they've done it where you can still go in there and do your ladder match, but the kicker is I kind of like it myself. the ladders are gonna be positioned to a certain point. You can't go in there and just put the ladder all willy nilly where you want to put it at. Now you got in the ring 4 corners. You can put those ladders in 4 corners, and also they got it now. You can literally center the ladder to go up and grab the belt, Money in the Bank, whatever match you're doing. So I like that feature where you can actually get to the point of trying to get to the Money in the Bank, for example, and actually grab the briefcase instead of previous games where you set the ladder up and you darn about to fall over trying to reach, but you ain't even close to it. So I like that feature. That's a good feature. And the next feature they have in the ladder match is also where if you watch previous pay-per-view matches, even just regular matches for ladder match wise, you can now set up the ladder via ringside and apron like a bridge. And that's a good feature. It's kind of like setting up a table, but it's a ladder. So I like that you're able to go in and do damage to your opponent, now on top of the ladder, either climb the ring, climb the ladder, and do a move and break the ladder with them on it, kind of like a table. So that's a real good feature. Real good feature. Kudos to 2K17 for adding that new feature in. And now the major feature of the game. Everybody's been crying about it since old SmackDown versus Raw 08-7, something like that. Falls Count Anywhere. It's back, baby. It's back. And with that, that means 2 things. The first thing is, well, 3 things. I take that back. The first thing is that with the Falls Count Anywhere, you can now fight all over the arena. Literally, all over the arena. And the second thing is, got a special bonus. Watch. And the second thing is you guys now get to fight in the crowd. Yes, I said fight in the crowd. No, you ain't got to break no barricade. You just literally go and start fighting the crowd. Go toward the barricade and pretty sure they got an opening somewhere. You just go get it going. You know, fighting the crowd, use little weapons they have on the outside of that and get it going. But now the other thing is now you can, even with the DQ match and all that, still do the same thing. You can go backstage and get it going. You can slug it out backstage. And now they also have 3 areas where you can fight. I don't know those areas. I ain't gonna sit here and say I know them, but I don't know them. We all know once we play the game where you can fight in those areas. But also they have in those backstage match brawls where now you can pick different weapons, things of that nature, do certain things, you know, far as like back in the day when they had backstage brawls. You can throw them against a soda machine from what I remember. What else you can do? Throw them against different type of things. But anyway, they've upgraded the backstage area. And now, the special feature to the backstage area now is you can do, I don't know what it is, you can do OMG moments in backstage area. Yes, I said OMG. You can now do OMGs and backstage brawls. We'll all find out once we get the game. And that's pretty much it with the new features. If you guys like this video, come back for more. Hit that subscribe button. Give me that thumbs up. Give me 2,000 likes. If you smell what Tone to Tone is YouTubing.